the next lecture of coordination compounds. In previous lecture we had started with the theories in bonding complexes, and in that we had studied VBT, that is valence bond theory. In this lecture we will start with the crystal field theory. Now this theory also has some assumptions. Let's see what are the assumptions. The first assumption is that the ligands in this field, in this theory, are treated as point charges, and the interaction between the metal and the ligand is considered as purely electrostatic interaction. There are no such orbital overlap considered in this theory as it was considered in VBT. So isolated gaseous metal ion has d orbitals which are 5 in number. 5 d orbitals they have. The isolated gaseous metal ion has 5 d orbitals, that is dxy, dyz, dxz, dx square minus y square and dz square. Now when in the free state, when the metal ion is in the gaseous free state without any ligand surrounded by it, all the 5d orbitals are degenerate, that is they are having same energy. We represented this as this. All the 5d orbitals are represented, or they are shown at the same energy. It is also called as degenerate. The next point is that when the ligands approach the metal, that is when the ligands come towards the metal to form the complex, what happens? They create a specific field around the metal, and this field is nothing but your crystal field. Now this sometimes the field is symmetric, as in octahedral. If all the ligands are same, all the ligands approaching the metal are same, the field is symmetric, but sometimes it is asymmetric also. And what happens when the ligands approach the metal? The d orbitals which were degenerate, that is in the same energy, they get split, that is they get divided. These 5d orbitals get divided into two sets. Okay, which are these two sets? One set is T2G and one set is that called as EG. T2G set contains dxy, dyz and dxz orbitals. Now these orbitals, d orbitals, they are 5 in number. Okay, these d orbitals are 5 in number, and these 3 are along the, they are not along the axis, they are in between the axis, so they are represented as dxy, dyz and dxz. This is T2G. And the second set is of EG, that is which are the d orbitals in EG? Dx square minus y square and dz square. Okay, these d orbitals are split in two sets, that is T2G and EG. Now since these d orbitals are split in two sets, the energy between them is called as your crystal field splitting parameter or crystal field splitting energy. It is represented as delta 0. This sign is called delta 0. Okay, or it is also called as 10 dQ. Okay, delta, this is O for octahedral. Delta O for octahedral, or it is also called as, this energy difference is represented as delta O for 10 dQ. Moving to the next point, this depends on the strength of the ligands. That is, the ligands are classified. Ligands are classified as strong field ligands, and weak field ligands. Weak field ligands. Now let's understand what is the difference between these strong field ligands and weak field ligands. Now strong field ligands, they have carbon, hydrogen or phosphorus as the donor atom. They have carbon, nitrogen or phosphorus as the donor atoms. Okay. Example is, what are the example? Ethylene diamine, cyanide, okay, NH3 and Hanson. Okay, these are the examples of your strong field ligands. What is the second point? Strong field ligands, they causes large splitting. Causes large splitting of d orbitals. Large splitting of d orbitals. The T2G and EG, d orbitals are split in two sets, that is T2G and EG. We have seen the difference of energy between them is called delta O or 10 dU. That splitting is more if those ligands are strong field. And since the energy is more, what happens? Pairing of electron takes place. Pairing of electron takes place. Okay, the energy pairing of electron takes place because delta O is high. Okay, because delta O is high, therefore what happens? Pairing of electrons take place and hence low spin complexes are formed. Low spin complexes are formed or favored. By your strong field ligands. Okay, these are the 3 points you have to remember in strong field ligands. They are formed. Which are the strong field ligands? Which have donor atom as carbon, nitrogen or phosphorus, and this strong field ligands causes large splitting of d orbitals. Since the energy gap is more between T2G and EG, so what happens? This energy gap is more. This energy gap is more in when the ligands are strong. So pairing of electron take place because this energy is more. So electron tends to pair up and hence low spin complexes are formed. Exactly opposite is the case of weak field ligands. We can write weak field ligands. Weak field ligands as, now here in strong field ligands you have donor atoms as carbon, nitrogen or phosphorus, and here you have oxygen or halogen as the donor atom. The ligand halogen atoms are the donor atoms in the ligand. Okay, example is your fluoride, chloride, bromide, C2O4, 2 minus, sulfur is also there. Okay, sulfur is also there. Sulfur, oxygen or halogen, they form weak field ligands. What is the next point you can write from here? They causes, these ligands causes less splitting of d orbitals. Okay, less splitting of d orbitals. Less splitting of d orbitals. Hence what? Delta 0 is less. Therefore, pairing of electrons do not take place. Pairing of electrons do not take place. Which pairing of electrons we are considering over here? We have seen yesterday the metal hybridization concept. In that we have seen that some metals are having paired electrons. So when the ligand are weak, there is no pairing of electrons, and hence high spin complexes are formed. High spin complexes are formed when the ligands are weak field. Now there is a series in which the ligands are arranged in an order of decreasing splitting order. Okay, let's see. These strong field ligands and weak field ligands can be arranged in a series. Okay, so let's see the series. Iodine, bromide, your chloride, your sulfide, fluoride, hydroxide, oxalate, then you have water, neutral ligands, thiocyanate, EDTA, then you have ammonia, then you have ethylene diamine, then you have cyanide, and then you have carbon CO, that is carbon monoxide. So iodine causes less splitting and your carbonate causes more splitting. So this is in the increasing order. Okay, iodine causes less splitting of the d orbitals, it is weak ligand, and these ligands, ammonia, ethylene diamine, cyanide, carbonate, these are strong field ligands, they causes more splitting of the d orbitals. Now why this splitting occur of the d orbitals? There is some theory. We have seen that the octahedral there are 6 ligands attached to the central metal atom. When the ligands approach the metal, now the d orbital your shapes can be drawn like this. We have seen there are 5 d orbitals. So this is your YZ, this is your XZ, these are the d orbitals I am drawing. So this is your XY, this is your x square minus y square, x, z, that will be more easy, sorry, x, y, and this will be x, z. Okay, now here this is your dz square. Okay, these are the d orbitals. Now if you look closely at these d orbitals, this dx square minus y square and this dz square, these are along the axis. You can see the lobes of the d orbitals along the axis. But in these 3 d orbitals, that is dyz, dxz and dxy, the lobes are in between the axis. So when in octahedral field, the ligands approach the metal along the axis, along the x, y and z axis. So the d orbitals which are along the axis, these 2 d orbitals are along the axis. So these are raised to some higher energy due to the repulsion. So we have seen, so these 2 are raised to a higher energy, and these 3 there is no repulsion, less repulsion compared to that of this axial one. So what happens? These are lowered in energy, and hence there is splitting of the d orbitals into states. Okay, because the ligands approaching the d orbitals along the axis, they are raising the energy of the d orbitals. These two d orbitals are raised in energy, and these have lowered in energy. Now what is the energy lowered? This is called barycenter. This we have seen that when there is no limit, all the d orbitals are degenerated. That is, they have same energy. Now this is 3 by 5 and this is 2 by 5, or this is also written as 0.6. This also you can write it as 0.6. This is increased by 0.6 and this is decreased by 0.4 dq. Okay. This is increased by 0.6 dq and these orbitals are lowered by 0.4 dq. This we have seen, this is delta O, that is equal to your 10 dq, that is the energy gap or the energy barrier between the two states, that is T2G and EG. The EG1 are raised from the center by 0.6 value and the T2G orbitals are raised below the normal, are decreased, or their energy is decreased below the normal by 0.4. So this, due to the unsymmetric field, the d orbitals are split into states, that is T2G and EG. Okay. We know that there are 5 orbitals of d and it can accommodate 10 electrons. So you can go on filling from d1 to d10. Okay, d1 to d10. So this effect, this splitting effect, it's not observed from d1, d2, d3, d8, d9 and d10. The electronic or the orbital diagrams, they have no change with respect to your high spin, with respect to high spin or low spin complexes, with respect to your high spin or low spin complexes. Okay. So when the electronic configuration is D1, D2, D3, D8, D9, D10, there is no change in the orbital diagram. But what happens when the electronic configuration is D4? We will write for high spin as well as for low spin. Okay, high spin and low spin. Now when D4 is there, what will be the, let's see how the electrons will get filled up in high spin and low spin. 4 electrons are there in high spin, we say no pairing takes place. So these are the 4 electrons occupied in high spin. And in low spin what happens? 1, 2, 3. First 3 electrons will fill up, the 4th electron will get paired up in low spin. Now in D5 what happens in D5? D5 again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 unpaired electrons in low spin. What will happen? 2, 3. The next electron will get paired up in the low spin. Now D6. D6, what will happen in D6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and your 6th electron will get paired up over here, and here your all T2D orbital will be occupied with the 6th electron. This is in raised to 6, B raised to 6. What happens in B raised to 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the electronic configuration in high spin with respect to D7, and in low spin what will happen? This is the electronic configuration. Okay, so this is the difference. This difference of filling of orbitals is only observed in D4 to D4, D5, D6 and D7. When the d orbital has 4 electrons, 5, 6 or 7 electrons, the filling of electrons take place in this way in high spin and in low spin complexes. While when the electronic configuration is D1, D2, D3, D8, D9 and D10, there is no such difference even if the complex is high spin or low spin. Okay. Now let's see the factors which are affecting the splitting parameter. Delta O. Factors affecting, the next point is factors affecting the crystal field splitting parameter. Crystal field splitting parameter, that is delta O. Crystal field splitting parameter, that is delta O. What are the factors? What will be the first factor? In this theory itself we have seen that it contains strong field and weak field ligand. So it basically depends upon the strength of the ligand, strength of the ligands. Delta O depends upon the strength of the ligands. More the strength, more is the splitting. More the strength, more is the splitting of the d orbitals, and hence the energy gap between the T2G and EG levels is more. Okay, more the strength, more stronger the ligand, more is the splitting. What is the next state of the metal? Oxidation state of the metal. Oxidation state of the metal. The metal carries positive charge and the ligands are generally anions or your neutral ligands, but they have electrons to be shared. So they are having negative charges. So what happens if more is the oxidation state? More the oxidation state, more is the splitting. Why more is the splitting? Because the metal with more positive charge will attract the ligand towards it. Okay, more the positive charge, more strongly the ligand will be attracted towards the metal and more will be the splitting. Trivalent metal ion shows more splitting than the divalent atoms. As the charge increases, divalent, trivalent, as the trivalent will show more splitting than the divalent. Okay, so these are the factors affecting the crystal field splitting parameter, that is delta O. So in this lecture we have studied CFT, their assumptions. Okay, we have seen that the ligands are considered here as point charges. There is electrostatic attraction. This is based on purely electrostatic between the metal and the ligands. The interaction is purely electrostatic, and we have seen that one more assumption, that based on the strength of the ligands, strong field ligands and weak field ligands, the d orbitals are split in two sets, that is T2G and EG, and the energy gap between them is called as the splitting parameter CF. T, that is the crystal field splitting parameter delta O and dq. And further we have seen the series also of the ligands, and lastly we have concluded with the factors affecting the crystal field